One of the worst things that can ever happen to you in your entire lifetime is peaking in high school. Picture yourself and just think about it. You have everything. You're on top of the world. You're probably a star athlete. Everyone in the school knows your name. And the huzz, bro, they're all yours. You've got no other competition. But see, after high school, everyone kind of just breaks away and does their own thing. People go off to college and university or get jobs or just move on. But these people that low-key peaked in high school are just left there with nothing but their gold medals from their year 3 football tournament. So today I'm gonna start from the beginning and look into the curious case of peaking in high school. This is gonna be like a scientific thing, you know? It all starts at the beginning of school, which for a lot of people is between the ages of 11 and 12. Usually you start off at the lower end of the school hierarchy. People just don't really rate you. You get picked on by older kids in the years above, and it's kind of like being dropped into a GTA server, not having any money and having to climb your way up the ranks. In my school, there was something called fresher hazing, where basically you were paired up with an older student by the school. This was usually for academic purposes if you were struggling with any sort of schoolwork. But what actually happened was very different. So me personally, I got paired up with a student that was 2 years older than me called Fidel. And Fidel was not a very nice man. My friends also got paired up with some people that Fidel knew. And one time during lunch, Fidel and his group of cronies come over to us at lunch and say, "Come to the bathroom, we need to talk to you." Okay, buddy, that's already a bit sus. I'm not really trusting a guy 2 years older than me when he says, "Come to the bathroom." But we do oblige because they're older than us and they're scary. So we walk into the bathroom, me and 2 other of my mates, and we see Fidel and a group of about 6 kids, all 2 years older than us, circled around us. They push us into the bathroom stall, and I kid you not, they do not let us out of the bathroom stall until the end of the lunch break. Like, bro, how unemployed do you have to be? Do you have nothing better to do with your time than pick on kids that are 2 years younger than you, that are just trying to get by in school? But weirdly, after the lunch break was up, and they let us out of the bathroom stall, all of them dapped us up and acted like we were friends. Like, what is going on here, bro? And later I realized now that we kind of earned respect from them, but in the moment it was like, who is this bipolar man that is putting me in a bathroom stall and then acting like we're friends? But you may be asking yourself, why would we even do this? Why would we even go along with this? And it's clearly because they just threatened to beat us up. And you gotta understand, 3 skinny first years, yeah, we've got no chance if we get in a fight with them. One time, Fidel came up to me and said to me, unironically, "Who runs the school?" And I jokingly said, well, the headmaster, the principal, he runs the school. But he did not like that answer. I'm pretty sure he wanted me to say, "Oh yeah, you run the school." So this guy seriously pushed me over because I said that the headmaster runs the school. But once you get a bit older, you gain a little bit more credibility and life gets a bit better. You're older now. Maybe you've joined some sports teams and maybe you even start getting some starter minutes on those teams. You're a bit more respected by your peers and you start getting invited to parties and you start getting a bit more motion. These guys start going to the gym, hitting weights, and they low-key turn their entire personality into their sport of choice. Although I did join sports teams and played football for my school's B team, I never truly transcended into this type of person. I was always from the outside looking in. I still cared more about studying and probably gaming as well, low-key. But these guys made their sport of choice their entire personality, which is okay, but just don't take it too far. Oh no. They're gonna take it too far. In my school, we had a kid that was truly gifted at football. This guy could play in any position. Ask him to play in striker position, he's got you. Ask him to play in defense, he's got you. Left wing, he's got you. Truly an amazing football prodigy and was probably the best athlete I ever saw in my school. And so naturally, what happens in the UK is you get scouted by football clubs. Now, this guy was good, so he got scouted by a team called Brighton FC in the UK Premier League. And the Premier League is the biggest football league in the entire world, no joke. This wasn't a Mickey Mouse club, this was serious. But it kind of got to his head, I'm not gonna lie. After he got scouted and he signed a junior contract, he low-key just bunned off all his studies and schoolwork. He decided, I'm going to become a professional footballer, this is my plan A, and if it fails, well, I don't even want to think about that because it's not going to fail. He had no plan B, which is really bad considering that only 0.2% of footballers make it professional. All of this at the young age of 15. But I'll give him credit, he put in a lot of work and he did really well. I remember checking up on him one time when I was 18 and it turned out he'd actually signed a professional contract with Brighton FC. But man, oh man, it goes downhill so quick. Because this guy didn't put any sort of time into his schoolwork, he failed all his GCSEs. He didn't even go to college. And Brighton is my local club, so I do keep up with them. So when I heard that he sustained an injury to his knee and he would be out for a season, it was really sad, bro. This guy that I'd known from school that had made it semi-professional, put all his time and effort into his dream, all of it had just come undone just like that in one game. He tore his ACL and then his contract expired that season. I'm pretty sure he went to Cheltenham FC and then bounced around a lot of League 2 and like national division teams, which is like going from playing for the LA Clippers to the Shanghai Sharks in the Chinese Basketball League in 1 year. What the hell went wrong? And this is why having your peak in high school is just not it. But it's the reality for some people. That hot girl that you thought was really attractive in school, yeah, she's a single mother and she doesn't know who the baby daddy is. And the guy that was sleeping with all the tarts, all the hot women, yeah, he's sleeping on the streets now. But we haven't even talked about the final form of the peaking in high school boss. This is the type of guy that has all the accolades. He ran track, he played football, he played basketball, he was probably on the first team for fucking lacrosse. We don't even have lacrosse in the UK. They were so certain they were going to get some sort of scholarship to university or some sort of professional contract. But 9 times out of 10, because they didn't put any effort into their education, they just end up in a construction work site. Because that's the only place that will take them. On their resume, if it says 2 gold medals in under 14's javelin, no employer is going to want that. Or maybe they just put too much time into chasing girls around and focused on the wrong things in life. Because as great as getting high with the school bop and then smashing is, yeah, at the end of the day, that's going to get old pretty quick and you're going to want to move on and get a real job. Just imagine that you're sitting down at the end of your life and you're on your deathbed and you look out and you think to yourself, oh my God, I would pay any amount of money to go back to high school. How bad must your life have gone for that to be the peak of your life, the very, very tippity top, and it was all downhill from there? So very quickly, I'm going to give a guide on how to not peak in high school, because I think it's very important that my viewers do not peak in high school. 1, don't get involved in school drama. In school, especially my school, there was so much drama. I'm talking school fights every other week, girls beefing over which guy they want, and guys beefing over which girl they want, and it's best to just not get involved. Be the outside perspective that everyone is just calm with, and like no one has beef with. Number 2, do what you enjoy. Genuinely, like this is the best advice I could give. Just do what you enjoy. If you like making YouTube videos, make YouTube videos. One day you're going to look back and you're going to think, damn, if I had started doing what I wanted to do 2 years ago, how far could I have come in those 2 years? I would be making a living off of that by now. And finally, number 3, the most important piece of advice I could give to you that anyone could give to you in their entire lifetime. I'm about to say it right now. I'm going to say it. I'm saying it right now. And that piece of advice is